Hello, I'm Sarah Joy, and welcome to episode 37 of Tea Tuesday. Let's go make our tea, and then we're going to come back and spill the tea on everything that's been going on in the past week in my life. So today for our tea, we're going to use my Polka Rose Tea for One by Royal Albert. And then I went the other day and I bought the Twinings Holiday Tea from BJ. So it includes a box of winter spice, which is a caffeine-free blend. So it's going to be like apple, cinnamon, stuff like that. So I'm excited to try that one. It also included Christmas tea, which is very good. And surprisingly, I really enjoyed the gingerbread, which I'm very, very picky about gingerbread. There's very few that I like. I like the seasonings, but I don't like the taste of molasses. So if a gingerbread is heavy on the molasses, it's not for me. But this one's pretty good. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to get our tea started. So here we have our lovely tea in our polka rose. I love this one. Actually, it may not be polka rose. I may have lied. This is polka blue. Polka rose was the green one. It looked just like this, but it was a minty green and it had polka dots and then it was roses on the inside, whereas this one has nothing on the inside. I gave that one to someone special. Oh, that's really good. I am trying consciously to lower my caffeine, which is why I made a caffeine-free tea today, because I am going to be working towards getting back towards my goals. This past week, I've had some time for reflection and I have trended back towards eating smaller meals more often, which means that I'm basically snacking. Or I'll go, oh, I'm a little hungry. I'll go grab a bite. I need to not be doing that because that means that I'm gravitating towards more convenience foods instead of actually sitting down and eating a proper meal. Not a good thing for me. But also I've been sick. I'm feeling much better. I still think I have a bit of a sinus infection, but I think it's starting to clear up, at least as the days go by. Mornings are still really tough for me, but I'm keeping up on my electrolytes and making sure I'm drinking tea and things like that, keeping hydrated to keep everything going. I do not feel that it's a bacterial sinus infection at this point because I'm starting to feel better. If I were to really start feeling worse, I'd go to the doctor and get antibiotics, but I am not at that point right now. But with that being said, I go towards convenience foods when I'm sick. I've been sick a couple times this year, and I know that it's because of stress and everything that's been going on this year. More stress is going to equal more sickness. And I've done it like twice this week where I've just gotten home from work. I've had to do schoolwork. I've been tired. I've not like super tired, like exhausted tired, but I'm just tired and I don't want to think about cooking food. So I've gone to Chipotle and I had a burrito. I'm going to be honest. And I went to Five Guys. I got my burger in a bowl, but I ate the fries. So that is just me being open and honest. We all have times where we can find ourselves falling back into old habits and old patterns. But instead of beating myself up for the fact that it was 2 times this past week, and I also had some tastes when my daughter were here, that was in better control. And I do that every year anyway. I don't necessarily go completely off the rails or anything like that anytime I add traditional sad foods. I am beyond that point of letting that control my life, but that does not mean that I don't have periods where it creeps back in. I do try to keep them very controlled. Like when my daughter comes to visit, I allow myself grace, knowing that we are extremely busy. She wants to hit the parks and do a lot at the parks and things like that, which means we're away from home. And while I do plan and I do try to make the best choices possible, there are times where it's just easy and convenient just to grab something at wherever we're at. So I allow that in that week, and I know that I need to adjust back for that. Don't beat myself up for it, which I think shows a huge mental growth that I don't get all upset and think that I have ruined everything, because I haven't. But this week for sure made me stop and think, like, I did it last time I was sick too. I didn't actually eat food last time I was sick, but I knew I wanted to. I was like, man, I just want to go get X, Y, or Z. And this week I really thought about that in the past couple of days. Like, what does that look like for me? Is it the actual food I'm wanting, or what if it's not the food, what am I desiring at that point? And at that point, it's the convenience. It's I just don't want to think about it. I just want to grab something and call it done. I don't want to sit down, and I don't want to cook. I don't want to prepare. And I do order chicken wings, and I did that last week too. But as far as like grab and go stuff, it's in our area, specifically right around my house. There's not a lot. Can I find excellent options? Oh, yes, absolutely. I can find excellent options in the greater area where we live. But right close to my house, within like 5 or 10 minutes of my house, I don't have it, which is fine. Because I do try to cook all my food. But now I've identified the problem, which is when I'm not feeling well, I need to meal prep better. And I didn't really meal prep this week because I had a lot going on with school and starting a new job. And I knew I had food in the house, and I pulled some stuff that we had meal prepped, but I still ended up not really eating that. So I just need to be better prepared in the future, and that's all right. So that's pretty good. But because of me identifying these situations, and I'm feeling very inflamed anyway, and I know stress is an issue, I need to do more of an elimination diet, and I need to make some shifts before I start that. So I was watching Keto Beyond the Couch today, because I am filming this on Monday this week because it's the day that I have off. And Joe and Rachel are going to be doing beef, butter, bacon, and eggs the day after Christmas. And I'm so excited because I need to do that. This is exactly, the timing is perfect. Everything is perfect. So this week I have grace. I am just going to eat how I need to eat and just get through the week. It's still going to be a very busy week, and I still have a lot of stuff that I'm adjusting to, still training at work, still getting into the scheme of school. So I want to give myself that grace to not overstress myself and not overcomplicate things for me this week. So this week gets a pass. But starting on Sunday, December 1st, I'm going to work on cutting down my caffeine. This is not eliminating it. It is cutting it down, because I know that I enjoy coffee, but the only way that I enjoy coffee is with sweetener and cream. I do not like it black. So I need to dial that back, and get it not around. Tea, I can drink I have several teas that I can drink without sweetener. So I'm not worried about that. Those ones will still be in my rotation. But I am going to try to not do any sweetener, which is going to be hard. I'm not super, I don't know. I probably am. If I'm being honest, I probably drink a lot more sweetener than I realize. Because this is my third. Wow, that's really bad. Okay, I do have a problem. All right, so this is my third sweetened beverage today. I took some chocolate element and I put keto brains in it, and I needed a big dose of electrolytes this morning, so I made hot chocolate out of that. So there was sweetener in that. I didn't add any additional sweetener. It was just the sweetener that was in the element. Then I added some sucralose to my tea, and I had one caffeinated beverage, and that was Celsius, which is also sweetened. I have yet to have water. And it's noon. Yeah, I definitely need to work on getting those sweetened beverages down and focus more on water. So that'll be part of my goal of the next couple weeks, is especially this week. This week, I'm definitely going to make sure I'm focusing on water, but I'm going to allow myself sweetened electrolytes. After the first, I'm going to try to just do the raw electrolytes that I have. Yeah. And then I'm going to focus on the first, doing 2 meals, just 2 good, full meals. I'm going to cook breakfast before I go to work, and I'm going to have dinner when I get home, starting on the first. The first is Sunday, I believe, and I should be off that day. I have to look at my schedule. I have so much going on that I actually have to keep a schedule because I can't keep it all in my brain right now, but it's all good. And then I'm going to do 30 days of triple B&E. And then after I do at least 30 days of triple B&E, I might extend that further. I don't know. But after 30 days, I've got to get the focus back on to getting the exercise and things like that, getting back on track, because this year I'm survived. I was in survival mode. And you know what? There's nothing wrong with that. That happens. We have years that are tough and that are difficult. But I have definitely gained like 10 pounds, 15 pounds this year, which is not a lot over the grand scheme of the year. And I'm very proud of that. But I still have like 50 pounds minimum, closer to 60 minimum that I want to go. And I do this all the time, I keep evaluating where I want my goal. My goal for the longest time was 145 pounds. And then they say that my healthy weight range is probably, I should be like 118 to 148. So that would put me about 125 being in the middle of that, sort of in the middle of that. 125, 130 would be the middle. So I shifted it down. And now as I'm living life and enjoying life and seeing more what life looks like now that I've been on this journey almost 2.5 years now, I don't think that's a realistic goal for me at this time. Could it be at some point? Yeah, probably, but probably not anytime soon, if I'm being honest. So I'm adjusting my goal to be 175 to 180. Yes, I will still be considered overweight, but considering where I started, which was over 300 pounds, I don't know how far over 300 pounds, but I was definitely over 300 pounds. My guess would be I was probably around 320, if I'm being truthful. And it might have been a little bit more than that, because I know my highest weight recorded was 295 pounds. And I know I had lost a good 20, 30 pounds before then, which would have put me right about 230, 220, or 320, 330, somewhere in that range. But I don't know for sure. So at this point, I have pretty much already lost 100 pounds. I am about 20 pounds heavier than I was when I stopped Manjaro. Again, I'm okay with the reality of that. I knew when I quit that I was going to have some bounce back, but it has taken me a year to get there. A year, over a year, honest. Well, technically it took me a year to gain about 20 and 10, 15. I'm going to say 15. And then I've probably put on in the last couple months another 5 to 10 pounds. But it is what it is. That it happens. That's life. Things don't always go. It's not, health is a continuum. It's a continuum. You're going to have, and it's nonlinear. You're going to have your ups and downs and turns arounds and all that kind of stuff. But it's taking the time to reevaluate and reflect. So I'm doing that, and we're moving forward on getting back to where I need to be. And my goal for 2025 is to move more, eat the best I can, work on my stress and my sleep. Those are my 4 goals. Hopefully with those, there'll be the cherry on top, which is going to be I'm going to reduce weight. But moving forward, my journey really isn't about weight. It's about making sure I get proper movement, get proper sleep, manage my stress, and eat the best that I possibly can. Because those 4 things equal optimal health. And that is my goal, regardless of what the scale says. So we're going to get back to that for 2025. I'm just kind of looking around and making sure I'm on track, because I'm feeling stressed today. And that's because I took the weekend off. I should have gotten ahead on schoolwork. I got all my schoolwork done by Thursday night. And I did minimal schoolwork from then. But between not feeling well and training and things like that, I just kind of existed for several days. It's not a bad thing, but it means that I really have to be on top of it this week, which creates stress right now because I have so much to do. But we're going to go into tech talk because I have tech now and I'm learning to use it. I know I talked last week about starting to do some journaling. And I know I mentioned last week that I had ordered a new iPad mini and that it was coming, and it came, and I have it, and it's adorable. It's purple with a little purple case, and it is like the perfect size. Oh, I did show this last week. But I didn't have the case, but I have the case now. And I think I mentioned last week that I realized that once I got this, that I had to order a new pencil. So I had to order the new Apple Pencil Pro, but it's pretty cool. It's got some really neat features, and I don't have to, this is how you pair it. This is how you charge it. This is how you do everything with that pencil. It stays right on the iPad. So it's convenient, it's easy, and I love it. But I do want to show you some of my progress with journaling, and not journaling, but just digital note-taking and a digital life. I haven't worked yet on my calendar because the one that I'm using, I could technically start today, and I probably will try to port some things into it, write some things into it, but it's all right. But I have started on my notes. So let me get back to my first page because I am organizing this in a way that works for me. So I kind of pick my paper. I'll show you down here. So I've got all the different types of paper. Hang on. I've got all the different types of paper like this. And then what I'm doing is once I've filled out my notes, you can see that there's a written page right there. I take that and I move it up to the top, which I'm still figuring out how to do all this, but it is working, sort of, and perfect. So that now, if you see it, I have all my notes in a row. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 pages of notes, which is really cool because I can color code it. I can put some stickers on it, and I get to organize it the way that works best for me. So what I did is I did this and realized this page should actually be in my planner and not necessarily in this document, but the information's down and I should be able to copy and paste it when I need it. But what I did today, this morning, is, and I'm not going to get super close on this because it does have private information. So we'll zoom in on less private information, hopefully. So what I've done is I've listed all of my classes. Green is the class that I'm in. Down here is professor's information, which, yeah, you can't see it. It has my dates. Yellow means that I haven't done it yet. Once I'm done, I will probably color it like purple or blue or something. I don't want red because red means, to me, would mean that I failed. So I'm not going to do that. So once this class is done, I will change the color, and I will, down below it, so that I'm further away, I have my professor's information. I will change that also to that color so that you can see it. Then over on this side, I have my student information that I need. And then I put a sticker in there that says to hold the vision and trust the process. This is definitely a quote that I need to focus on and remember and just deal with. So that is where I need to be. And then I've just got all my notes. And again, I like that I can decorate them with stickers and all of that. The other thing that I just got last night is I downloaded a reading journal. I have not worked on it because now I have 2. So I'm going to decide which of those 2 reading journals that I would like to use, but I'm going to focus on that for December as well. And then I also, starting in December, and I'm going to work on filling it out this week, and I've already started some of it. I ordered a plant journal so that I can learn more about my plants, and I can learn to get better care of my plants and get pictures of my plants and help document my plants. So as you can see, it says Sarah's House Plant Journal. I added my name to it, but it lists, like, I can add 30 plants with names. So I started here. So Kaz is this first one. That's my spider plant. So on here, it can tell me the date that I purchased it, the size he is, what type of plant he is, if he's pet friendly, other notes about them, care instructions, things like that. And then I can put a photo on there, which I will. Then on the next page, I have a watering tracker, and I am going to start in December. So it'll go from December through November. And then I'll just erase that information on that page and go from there so that it can be perpetual. It's also got the same thing for fertilizing, as well as repotting, which repotting should be done every year to 2 years. And I can take pictures before, after, make notes of what size. So technically I can document this for like 6 years on just this page. And then I can go back. Of course, my tech will probably not be great by then, and this may not even work by then, but it's there. And then it's also got like a growth chart. So I plan to take pictures every 3 months and document that. And I can do that for up to 30 plants, which I currently have 20. But I've killed a lot of plants this year. So I'm not reducing. I am kind of reducing because I did have a couple more bonsais that died. I do know I want another Ficus benjamina, and I will probably get one at some point in the next few months. But I'm just going to focus on pretty much learning my plants that I have, learning to take care of my plants. I have another plant order that I want to make. It's going to have another 5 or 6 plants in it. Might end up being more. And I'm just going to focus on taking care of those plants really, really well. If I hit a major goal, I may reward myself with plants or books. Those are going to be my rewards because they're not food. But yeah, and then I mentioned that I ordered psych stickers. The plan was to decorate the back of this case like I decorate my Kindle. I put them in here, looked super cute, and then this case doesn't fit as tightly as my Kindle case does, so I moved my iPad and all my stickers slid. So I did put them on the back of my Kindle. So they're super, super cute. Like it says coffee and psychology, future psychologist, because I will be a psychologist, not the legal representation of what psychologist typically means, which is a therapist, but I'll still be a psychologist because I will have I have a psychology degree and I will have a master's degree. So I kind of get that title, but it's just like a doctor, like a PhD. You're a doctor, but you're not a doctor. So there'll be that distinction. I don't have the professional title of psychologist, but I do have the title of psychologist. And I think my favorite one is it takes a lot of sparkle to be a psychologist. So that's there. And then there were several more in there as well that I couldn't get in there, which is really fun. So I'll have to get those put up so Ghost does not eat those. And then I do want to show my MacBook that I talked about getting, and I am learning to use it. Last week I did one video where I edited it on here. It went well, but I didn't have time to really focus on it. But I do want to show I got a really pretty case to go on it. I love it because my laptop is the space black. It is not the silver. So this just kind of, it went with it. Books. And I do need to get a wrap on this because my gimbal needs to be charged and I didn't charge it and it's going to die. So hopefully I can get through this before it totally dies. Books. Book reading has definitely slowed down with my job and school. And I knew it was going to be. So I'm still working through this. It's the only book I'm really physically reading. And then I am still listening to, and I didn't grab it, The Christmas Tree Farm by Lori Gilmore, I think it is. And it's really good, but that one's in the car, and I only get like 20 minutes a day. So I don't get super far in that either, but I'm still doing it. Going really, really well. I have like 100 pages left. So my goal is to finish this week, and I want to start another Christmas book. No knitting, no knitting. Hopefully I'll get some time next week. It's a matter of finding balance, and that's not always easy to find, but I am definitely working towards it. But I did get some new book acquisitions. Most of these I have had for almost a week. I've been so busy I haven't even had time to even do my little TikTok video, which every time I get new videos of books or new books, I do a little TikTok video of that. So if you want to see like what books I'm buying and what books I'm reading, I'll get better at the ones I'm reading. As I finish them, I'll be making little videos on that too on TikTok. This still has stickers on it, but it is what it is. But I got some books last week. We went to BJ's and I got two. So I had 2 Christmas books. I got A Merry Little Meet Cute, which is by Julie Murphy and Sierra Simone. They have several. I also have Holly Jolly Ever After, and there's another one, or Jingle Bell something or other. So there's 3 books that I have by them. So I got this one. Then I got The December Market. This one came across my Facebook feed, and it's just a little short book. We'll see how many books I get through. Then we went to Walmart. I don't even remember why we went to Walmart, but we went to Walmart. I had to get something. I don't remember what it was. But while we were at Walmart, I stopped by the book section and I found the next 2 books. So this one is a romantasy. It's called The Serpent and the Wolf, and it's purple and beautiful cover. And it's a Master of Spicy Slow Burn is what it is. It's by Rebecca Robertson. And that was a quote by Kate Golden. And it just seems really, really good. I love a good map on the inside where it tells you where you can go and you can look and you can see the world. I absolutely love it. So there I've got that one. Then I saw the special edition of Butcher and Blackbird. And I had this book. But of course, you all know I'm a sucker for special editions. So I got the special edition. It's hardback, it's got the foil and the bright sprayed edges, which is my second obsession. So I got that. Then in the mail, I got another special edition with sprayed edges. This is, and I ordered this one in October and it just released. So it was a pre-order. This is the Half King. And it's got purple and pretty sprayed edges as well there. And beautiful artwork on the inside. And I'm excited about this. Then I got my November Book of the Month Club. I mean, I'm going to spend a minute talking about the Book of the Month Club, because I know I mentioned that I was reading it and I was super excited about it. And I was super excited. But I scheduled to skip. So the way that it said when they skipped was that you could pause your subscription and you could still use your point. Unless I missed some fine print somewhere, I was under the impression that I could use my point at any point in time and my subscription would stay paused. That apparently was not the case, because I just got the notification that my Book of the Month Club went through. It was supposed to be paused. So I wasn't planning for it. And that is just like a no-no in my book. I just don't like that. I think if you pause it, it means it's paused. And you shouldn't reinstate it at any point. Unless your pause period has expired. But anyway, I got charged for December. So I'm going to use my December credit when the December books come out. And then I'm canceling the service. But I did get this one, which is the November book, and it's called Dirty Diana. And I got this one, if I'm really correct, this one it also deals with Hollywood and things like that. Okay, that's right. This one seemed like very outside my norm. It is more of a literary fiction, which is fine, but it says a provocative novel about being caught between marriage and memories of a more sensual past. It's the first of a 3-part series based on a #1 fiction podcast. So we'll see. It seemed interesting, so I did get that one. And then because this one's not a fun book. But because I got new software and I want to learn to do editing better, and I discovered last week that iMovie is not the same on your phone as it is on your tablet, as it is on my MacBook Pro. Very, very, very different in my MacBook Pro. And it took me a while to figure things out. I still haven't figured everything out. But when I bought it, I bought the educational package, which included Final Cut Pro. So I have that on my MacBook, and I've added it on my iPad because my iPad mini can do it. I have a 30-day subscription on that. I may cancel it and may get it again later. I don't mind paying for it on my iPad because then it gives me 2 different ways that I can edit in 2 different things. But because I wanted to learn how to do this, and I knew that this program could do so much, I found a book. It was a pricey book, but I said, this was my thought process. That's a very expensive book. I read the reviews. The reviews say that it's great. It's like the end all be all of how to know how to edit. And it was this book was based on the most current vision of Final Cut Pro because I didn't want to get something that was outdated. So I went ahead and I spent the money, $65 on this book. Look how thick that book is. It is literally a textbook. Literally a textbook. There's how many pages in here? Well, that's an appendix, but there's like 800 and something pages in here, including the index. I was thinking I would have time to read this in my downtime, and I still might. I don't know when I'm going to work on this. I might just put that into January's pile and start learning to edit. I did have a friend offer to show me a little bit, some basics, which I still might do, especially based on the fact that this book is ginormous. I was originally going to get the book because I'm like, well, I'll just read the book and I'll learn it, and then I'll have a resource, and then I won't have to have somebody show me, but that may not work out. We'll finish up the job. My job is going very well. It is not a perfect job, but it is the perfect job for right now, if that makes sense. I really like my team. My team is currently 6 people. We are getting a new hire next month, so there will be 6 reservation agents on the floor. That will be our whole team. We won't all 6 of us will not be working every single day because there's 2 part-times and there will be 4 full-times, or it might be 3 and 3. But I think if I heard correctly, it's going to be 4 full-time, 2 part-time. So most of us full-timers will work together most of the days. And then there'll be a manager. I know they're considering doing a supervisor position, which is awesome. I already know who's going to get that, which is fine. She deserves it. I don't want it. I don't want that stress. Even if I could get it but I don't want it because I'm too new. But it's going well. This week we really haven't been on the phones, which has been nice because with my experience with Morgan & Morgan, the phones don't stress me out the way they did at Morgan & Morgan, because I kind of know what to expect. I kind of know the process of that. So it's been learning the software, learning how to do it, do everything else back behind the house. And there's a lot of different reports. They all look the same. There's a lot of different steps that we have to do every single day. And we have to do it while we're taking calls, which doesn't really stress me out, because I think once I know how to do those things, you'll be able to, there's a lot of downtime where you're in between calls, you can work on some things. Got some tips like, this is the most important to do first thing, do this. If you're the only one, do it before you get on the phones. Or if you're the one that's doing it, there could be other people on the phones. Yesterday it was me and my trainer. So we didn't get on the phones until, well, she didn't get on the phones. I shadowed, until around 2, because we finished the entire checklist before we got onto the phones. But it is going very, very well. Very, very well. I think I mentioned that there wasn't a break room, but there is. There is technically a break room. It's just nowhere close to my office, which is why everybody in my office takes their break at their desk. I don't want to spend 10 minutes of my 30-minute break just getting back and forth to the break room. Not happening. So all good there. The time is going to be good. The workload is going to be good. It's going to be busy without being like super stressful. It's because we can more talk to each other. We are all sitting in one area. The phone calls are not the same volume that they were at Morgan & Morgan. We still get very busy, don't get me wrong. There were a couple times where we hung up like yesterday and a phone call came immediately in. I was told they don't normally do that because typically there's more than one agent. So if you get off a phone call, it routes to the next one. If you're on a phone call, it routes to the next one, so that the system kind of tries to spread those calls out between all active agents. So, but that doesn't mean that you can't get back to back to back. But there should be some breaks in there to be able to like finish up things and look up things and things like that. But as far as the process of just being able to use and navigate your computer, it's going to be very similar to Morgan & Morgan. I'm just going to have certain set screens open. So that job really prepared me for this job. Also, Disney really, really prepared me, because Disney, even though it was in merchandise, it was still in the hospitality type industry. Even when you're in theme parks, there's that hospitality aspect of it. So yeah, I think it's going to go really, really well. I drove to work for an entire week and made 3 extra trips, and I used a quarter tank of gas instead of a tank and a half of gas. And I've actually left too early too many times, where I've gotten there like super early and I've had to like drive around to waste a little extra time, because it's 10 minutes from my house. And it's fabulous. I love it. So it's perfect. I definitely see myself here for at least a few years. I don't know how long I will stay, but it will be a minimum of a year. But honestly, I really see it as a 1 to 3 year type job. It could go longer than that, but that's kind of the time frame that I envision on that. Hopefully by then I'll be done with school and I'll have built my coaching business and other things that I want to focus on that are more important. And if I get those going, I may go down to part-time there, or I may stay full-time, and I don't know. We'll see, but that's far, far in the future. But it's going well. All right. Next, what I want to do. This idea just hit me this morning, so I'm going to do it. We are going to do a joyful holiday giveaway. You have 2 weeks to enter. So on the Tea Tuesday videos, what you're going to do is you're going to leave a comment. What's your favorite thing about Christmas? It could be a tradition. It could be that you love decorating your tree. It could be whatever you love about Christmas. It could be about Christmas music. You love Christmas books, whatever. So I'm going and I am finding things. I don't know exactly what's going to be in here, but this is going to be the Joyful Christmas giveaway. So it is about things that I like, that I am connected with. So I already know that there's going to be books. There's going to be tea. Most likely there's going to be some sort of tea accoutrement, whether that be like a tea for one or a cup. Everything will be brand new, or in the case of like a teacup or something like that, it could be vintage, but everything will be in excellent, like if it's vintage, it's gonna be in excellent condition. I'm not gonna send you anything that's like chipped or cracked or anything like that. For the most part, it'll be all new. I will probably throw some sort of keto chow in there as well. Yeah, so we'll see what I come up with. I don't know entirely what's in it. I have 1, 2, 3, 5 or 6 things planned. So it's going to be a nice Christmas gift for you. And I'm going to give it away on episode 40 of Tea Tuesday. So you have 2 opportunities to enter into that. The next giveaway that we will do will be when I hit 1,000 subscribers. As of the time of this recording, we are at 675. So we are very, very close. And if you want a chance to enter that giveaway too, whenever it comes around, share, please share with someone you think that would enjoy this channel. And yeah, help, that would be much, much, much appreciated, because I do want to do 1,000 member giveaway, because I'm so close. I'm over halfway there, and that is exciting and wonderful. But it is now almost 12:30. I need to get back to getting this edited so that I can get back to schoolwork, because I have a ton of it to do. My target for school is a minimum of 4 hours a day. Today, I'm probably pushing that to try to get closer to 6. I've done about an hour's worth of stuff this morning. I feel like I didn't get much done because, well, really an hour is not all that long. But I'm going to try really hard to hit my benchmark, which is 4 hours a day, 5 days a week, so that I can have at least 1 day off. The plan is to have 2 where I don't have to do school. But I want to flex. I want to have 1 flex day. So if I have to do it 6 days, that's fine. But I'm going to try for 5. But no more than 6. That doesn't always go in my favor. Hopefully with all my digital planning and digital scheduling and digital everything that I'm learning to do, I will get better at time management. I'm not awful, but I need some things refined. All right. Well, it has been a wonderful time sitting down and sharing about what's gone on in my life this past week, what struggles I've been facing, what I have going forward, and what I'm planning to do, and things that I'm excited about and looking forward for 2025. It's been a pleasure to share that journey with you, and I hope that you are doing well on your journey, and I wish you a wonderful and joyful day. Bye for now.